Welcome back. We're at the Forest of Dean sculpture trail, where last week's vlog saw us ticking these various ones off, and we're back today so that we can complete the trail. And at the end, find out what was Ellie's favourite one. My favourite was in last week's video. And number 9 is called Cone and Vessel. And I think I can see it from here. Let's go and have a look.
Peter Randall Page created Cone and Vessel in 1988. He took as the basis for his two complementary works the intricate forms of a pine cone and an acorn cup. They're carved from pink and green Forest of Dean stone and create on a large scale these intricate organic forms, and they are revealed in all their detail and draw our attention to the tiny, fragile shapes that exist in the forest. So we're trying to work out if this thing that's all fenced off is a sculpture. Don't know if you can see it in the trees there. You can definitely see some fence and a mound in the middle.
Well, we've got to number 10, and it's called Hill 33.
David Cotterill created Hill 33 in 2010. He is a war artist who had just returned from Afghanistan. This was what influenced part of the decision to make Hill 33. The concertina units used by him are the same as those used in Afghanistan to protect the camps. This sculpture is an example of how nature gradually reclaims industry. And for every down there has to be an up. And up is where we're going for the next one. Hey ho. So, do we reckon that this, what looks like a bird box up a tree, is the next sculpture? Do we? Oh, Graham reliably informs me it's called House.
Unfortunately, this is the only one that didn't have the appropriate signage.
Oh yeah, it's not even up a tree, it's on stilts. Look at that. Who'd have thought it? House was created by Miles Davies in 1988. It is almost invisible unless you are looking for it. A tall, elongated structure, it echoes both the trees which surround it and the mine shafts which plunge below. It is capped by a simple house shape, which is a metaphor for the shelter and security provided by the forest. And here's the next one, over the other side of the water. I guess we have to walk round and see it.
This one is called Threshold.
Threshold was created by Natasha Rosling in 2019. It's a new permanent sculpture and it's sited by a sheltered woodland pond. It's inspired by the ancient history of mining beneath the surface of the Forest of Dean. Threshold's large interlocking walls take a crevice-like form that visitors can walk through and immerse themselves within. The artist took moulds of pickaxe marks and dynamite blasts from below ground. These were then incorporated into the walls of the sculpture.
And this one's called Coal Measure Giants.
Coal Measure Giants was created by Henry Castle in 2016. The two sculptures of Coal Measure Giants stand in the forest 300 metres apart. This is to represent how deep the Colford High Delph mine is below the ground surface. In fact, it's so far apart we actually missed the second bit. Oops. And this is a library picture of the second part of the sculpture, the perfect excuse for us to go back there. A bit of a hill up to here. Hey as you can see.
And this is number 14. This one's called Echo.
And I can actually see why it's called Echo. Because if you look behind it, it's sort of a replica of the land behind it. Annie Cathedral created Echo in 2008. The sculpture responds to the forest's geological history and the material nature of the landscape. Situated in front of the span of rock which inspired it, Annie's sculpture captures the forest's carboniferous sandstone as a single moment in time. Have a guess what it's made of? Graham didn't get it right.
And this one is called Cathedral. It's quite impressive.
I think that this is my favourite sculpture in the whole of the sculpture trail. It's called Cathedral and it was created by Kevin Atherton in 1986. People often compare cathedrals to forests, and the imagery in the window made that thought visible, and it draws on the tradition of stained glass that goes back to medieval stained glass. It's interesting to take this material, which is very fragile, and to create a sculpture from it. Used as a visual trigger, the window connects the concepts of two separate spaces, the forest and the cathedral. The common feature shared between forest and cathedral is the way that they are affected by natural light. Just like entering a cathedral, to see the window properly, the viewer has to enter into the forest. Heading back to Merlin now. We've got one more sculpture to see after the cathedral.
Number 16.
Number
16.
Number 16. But we know we're heading in the right direction to get back to the van, thank goodness.
And this one is called Hanging Fire. Should be the last one.
Hanging Fire was created by Cornelia Parker in 1988. It is a ring of cast iron flames hanging upside down and encircling a sycamore tree, standing in the middle of a ring of 5 more sycamores. The crown represents the forest's royal history. The impression she wanted to create was that of a natural phenomenon or a magical vision, and something as ancient and as old as the forest. So it looks like this car park is free of charge. I couldn't see any signs other than that you can't park overnight. So if you want to save yourself £8, you could park here. But of course there's no cafe or facilities.
We've really enjoyed our walk around the sculpture park, but it wasn't all quite over because on the way back there were still 1 or 2 things to see.
And this is a poem, but it doesn't have a special label and it's not shown on the sculpture trail, but it is on the sculpture trail. So we can't quite read it. It's something about the world rushing by and finding peace, I think. Not much daylight left now. As you can see, the sun's really low in the sky over there. But I'm just so pleased we persevered with this walk. I think it's about 4.5 miles. So yeah, no mean feat. I think we're all pretty tired. Not as fit as we like to think we are, but definitely well worth it. I don't think it can be that much further to Merlin. I hope not. hope we're heading back to the car park. It's definitely the right direction. It's just a question of how far, really. But the girls have done so well, because they haven't been on a long walk for quite a while. When it's really, really wet or really, really cold, or you just get busy, it's hard to find the time to do walks like this. I know Graham's retired, but it doesn't always mean you have lots of time. You have lots of commitments and various other bits and pieces. Hang on, we didn't see that though.
Yeah.
I never saw that. Yeah. Is that a sculpture?
No, definitely.
Well, how come I missed that one? I was obviously meant to see it, wasn't I? There we go. Look at this fella.
It's not a numbered one.
No, there are extra ones that don't have numbers. The trees are talking, Gray. They're having a chat.
Are they?
That's what it says here.
What are they saying?
They don't say. I think they're keeping it a secret. Beautiful. The trees are talking. In the bowels of the badger. Lovely, isn't it? Won't keep out much rain.
No.
And there's the best sculpture of all in the distance. It's a pretty rare one. Graham, what are you doing? Graham thinks he's the best sculpture in the distance. I meant Merlin. Got quieter here now. Most people have gone home. So I don't think we'll stop here because we're supposed to be leaving the car park, I think, the way the ticket has worked out. It's just gone 4 o'clock, so I think we'll probably go back to the site and have a cup of tea. It's not that far, just a few miles. Go on, Luna. Up. There you go. And we're back.
So we made it back to Merlin, and Luna's having a little rest. I think she's buried a treat we've given her. She likes doing that. There she goes again. But what you don't realise, Luna, is that if Maya gets in there, she'll just eat it. Yep. And maybe you're going to dig it up and eat it?
She dug it up just now and then buried it.
Did she? This is it. Get a dog that's got Jack Russell and you'll find they like to dig holes in their beds.
Graham's not going to bury this.
I shan't be burying my
Cookie. No, I won't be burying mine.
tum-tum.
I won't be burying mine either. And Maya's just eaten her breakfast that she wouldn't eat this morning, so that walk's given her an appetite. You've left one, Maya. There's one in your bowl. You forgot one. Is that left for manners, is it? You got one in there. You can have a sleep now. These girls have done so well. The walk round the trail's 4.5 miles. So we're all pretty tired. I'm just going to watch something on the iPad. Maya's thinking she wants to retire to the bedroom, as you can see. But the weather today has been glorious. And you can see it's still nice out even now. The sun has set. It's about 10 to 5, so still light. Spring's coming. Anyway, I'm going to have my cup of tea now.
Inside.
Nice. Bit of Adam's ale. What do you reckon?
So tonight we're having curry. I must admit this is a curry I made at home. It's got beans in it and vegan chicken and peppers and mushrooms, a bit of courgette, green peas and potatoes. And I think it was a patak sauce, and I just added a carton of the equivalent of cream, vegan equivalent of cream, to the mixture, and this is what it came out like. So in a moment I'm going to put some rice on top and it will be ready to serve. So this one's quite intriguing, the rice that I put on the curry. I haven't had this one before. It's brown basmati, but it's got rice and it's actually got seeds in it as well. So there's sunflower seeds and I think chia seeds in it. So yeah, very healthy looking. But what's really good, I think it was only about 50p, and it's from Lidl's. So we'll see how we get on. Should be nice and filling after our long walk that we had today. Certainly hope so. Dinner is served.
Lovingly prepared by myself.
You wish.
Oh, you haven't told him you did it, have you? Did you make out you did that?
I did do it. Such a naughty. Well, Patak's made the sauce, the curry sauce, but I sort of cooked it. There we go. So it's a nice warming plate of ricey, seedy, potatoey, beany curry and salad. What do we think?
Got a lot of flavour to it. Very nice.
Good. It'll warm us up as well because it's quite chilly tonight, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I better tuck in. So now you know that my favourite sculpture was the cathedral. What was your favourite? Let us know in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed, please do consider doing so, as it really helps us to grow the channel. And also don't forget the Facebook page. The Facebook group. If you actually want to join the group, I'll let you in. It's Wizard in the Wild.
Well, that wasn't very professional, was it? You're all over the place then. What were you thinking?
Well, actually, my tummy's rumbling and I'm thinking, what's for dinner?
And if you want to know what's going on here, join us next week.